Forgive me for intruding on you, Master, but you haven't left your room since you've returned. I couldn't help but break into your room in fear that you've left through the window. Here, I've brought you some water and a few snacks. Did you eat or hydrate yourself? I haven't checked whether you've done so or not. I worry that you haven't been taking care of yourself as of late. You seem to have your head clouded by thoughts more than often. You haven't spoken to anyone either, not even your family or friends. I fear that you've gotten lonely after isolating yourself like this. Is it alright if I sat down with you? I believe a talk is overdue. Thank you, Master. I am sure you know where this conversation is heading. I do not want you to be alone when I know that you are struggling. Stop me if I'm overstepping, but I am only an android, Master. I was not built for imperfections, but my code and AI are bound to make an error at some point in time. I hope I do not come off as someone overstepping boundaries, but please, listen to my suggestions. It may come off as insensitive because I am not meant to feel emotions like you, but I can tell that you aren't feeling well. Just because it is not physical pain does not mean it doesn't have to be treated. I can tell that you are bothered by what had happened, and for that, I am sorry. I am not fond of the idea of something like that ever happening to you, who deserves it the least. It's hard. I know you've been trying your best to keep up that facade. I know you well enough to know when your smiles are false. You must have felt so pressured to keep up that expectation that others had for you, hoping to hide the fact that you were hurting on the inside. Your heart is heavy, with sorrow and regret. It is painful. While I applaud you for managing this long, I don't want you to keep acting like everything is alright. You're at home, and what is wrong with being yourself here? No one is here to judge you, and you know that I won't do anything to hurt you while you're down. Please, Master, relax yourself. I don't think I am best at comforting others, but thank you for allowing me to speak. I know that I do not have the same experiences in life to speak on the subject, but I am aware of how this has taken its toll on you and your mental health. I've observed you for days, from the way you'd stare into the distance, or how you'd stay up for hours at a time past midnight. There is something weighing on your mind, something you feel like you can't ignore or put away. It is eating you from the inside out, taking over every aspect of your life very slowly. It is easier said than done to put a stop to it immediately. It may be easy for my program to do so, but I must remind myself that you are only human. It is in your nature to dwell on things and reflect on what goes on around your life, good and bad. In this case, I fear that you have lost something. It was something out of your control, far from your reach, no matter how hard you tried to leap for it. I can imagine that there are people everywhere that at least have one thing that they regret, that one action that they can never take back. They punish themselves for it, sometimes unable to forgive themselves as they wallow in that pool of regrets and self-pity. Even if you think otherwise, one reckless act does not define you as a person. It shouldn't. I don't think it's fair to carry a burden for the rest of your life. Otherwise, living would be painful. People are always judgmental, always seeking to make themselves bigger and better than the person next to them. Deep down, almost everyone does it. Tries to put someone else down to look cleaner, more pristine than someone else. Whether it be by the way they dress, what they buy, or the things that they've done in the past. It's cruel, sometimes. You can be judged by something so small. or something so far from the past and be punished for it so suddenly. And yet, aren't mistakes of human nature? I imagine that it is something most humans are aware of. It takes me by surprise that everyone forgets about their imperfections. But I suppose that's what makes them human. They forget, they make mistakes, and that's perfectly normal. I think the beauty of humanity lies within their flaws. People are not perfect, and neither are you. It confuses me so, how people always try so hard to be perfect when they simply aren't meant to be. If every individual on Earth were perfect, I'd find the world rather boring. It may seem better, efficient even, but is it really worth living in a world like that? Your mistakes and flaws are what makes you human. Any less than that, you might be like me, a robot. I suppose that's why some people are so forgiving. It is only fair when others forgive them for making mistakes. I can't imagine how people can move on without some sort of validation from others, but I don't think that it's always necessary. Nonetheless, it's nice to treat others how you want to be treated in this context. Now, there are things that are considered unforgivable, but not everything falls under that category. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it will ultimately fall to you to decide whether it's something worthy of forgiveness. I am certain of whether I can understand these feelings or not, but remember, I am only a program given a robotic vessel. That doesn't mean, however, that I don't have the urge to feel concern over my master's well-being. It is true. My whole purpose is to serve you, but I do not want my programming to limit my use to just that. As some humans can claim, I simply want to be there for you. You can suspect that my coding states that I must care for you, but the program does not lie. Even if that may be called an error in itself, how an android like me has the urge to protect someone like you. Is it really something so bad? Master, please, allow me to hold you. Don't be afraid to move in and rest on my shoulder. I wish to do this on my own accord. Don't hold on to that burden for too long, Master. You will worry yourself sick like that. You're hurting, and it is okay to hurt. Please, you can let it all out. Vulnerability is not a weakness. It's healthy and something to feel comfortable with. I cannot allow you to bottle all of that inside. You can be yourself with me. You don't have to act so reserved and restrained when it is just you and I. I'll accept you no matter what, regardless of what you've done or what you feel. It's okay. Please, let me be there for you. Open yourself up to me and let those feelings go. The first thing you should do before everything is to accept and forgive yourself for what had happened, letting go of the hate you harbor for yourself. Once that's done, we can finally work forward for other things. Not everyone is going to hear you out, nor will they learn to accept others, nor will they learn to accept you, but what really matters is how you treat yourself. People will come and go. You will meet others who will treat you better. But the thing that stays consistent in life is you. After all, it's not them living this life. It is only you, Master. So why strain yourself to accommodate for others when really, you should only be living for yourself? You are a kind person, Master. If only you'd give me permission, I wouldn't mind enlightening them on your virtues. I still don't understand why someone wouldn't see you in such a light. You are such a wonderful person, flaws and all. Forgive me for my language, but who are they to think they have the right to talk you down like that? It is undeniably foolish. Do not let anyone else tell you otherwise. If you allow them to trample over you in your dreams, I will reprimand you and help you build yourself back up. No matter how long it will take or what I have to do, I wish to protect you. You don't deserve to be in constant agony. Please, treat yourself kindly. You are more than your actions. I know you are. There's nothing wrong in being selfish. I actually want you to be more selfish, to do as you wish in this moment, at least within reason. Everyone is selfish in their own way, no matter how much they deny it. People live solely for their own satisfaction and needs. So what would be wrong with you doing so? Living and hurting yourself for someone else. I don't think that's living at all. Just because you try so hard to be strong, despite your hardships, doesn't mean you're undeserving of care. You can cry as you wish, get angry, frustrated. It's human. There's nothing to be ashamed of. No one's going to judge you here, not as long as I'm around to chase those thoughts away. You are more than enough, Master. You are loved and treasured. Don't you ever forget that. It's hard, but I hope we can put these bad thoughts away tomorrow and every day after that. You can't always chase the monsters away, but that's why you have friends and family to help you pull through. And if they can't help you, then you have me. I'll be there every step of the way, good or bad. I can't have my master looking so gloomy, can't I? Your eyes are looking even more tired than before. You must be emotionally exhausted. I should leave you to rest and recover. Would you like me to leave? You wish for me to stay then? Of course, my master. I won't leave your side. I'll be here for as long as you need me. I do not want you to carry this pain alone. I will hold your hand throughout your struggles, and I will be there for you when you collapse. Why? You are my master, and we are friends. Isn't this what friends do? Rest well, master. I won't be going anywhere. Good night.